Next, let's convert our hello and bye to be templates. You probably have some idea about how to go about this, but I'm going to start by looking at the code and explaining what's going on there. So jump to your resource pack directory, open up the 16th step, which is called front.php, converting pages to templates. Copy the code and paste it over the code that's currently in your front.php file, and save it. Now if we compare these two files, I'm going to drag these over to my file comparison tool. Originally, what we were doing was requiring or including a file directly into our script. Now, instead, what we're going to do is use an object buffer, which will allow us to include a file but capture it inside of a variable and use that instead. So what this will allow us to do is grab the content of this object buffer by using obgetClean and set the content here instead of inside of the template itself. Let's look at what our templates look like once we've removed this obligation from the templates. So we'll go back to the resource pack directory and open up the 17th step, hello.php, converting to a template. Let's copy this and then paste it over our hello.php file. Make sure that you're using the one that's inside of source pages. I'm going to paste in the code. So now we don't have to set the response at all. Even though there's a lot of PHP that's still going on in here, this is still an HTML template. We can just use text and HTML inside of this, and it will work just fine. What we're doing within the template is grabbing the name from our request, and we're running some of that security-oriented cleaning stuff here inside of our template as well. Now ideally, these would be outside of the template in some other file, and as we move forward through this progression, you'll see most of this code disappear. The one thing that won't change throughout this series is this part right here. The reason is that what's happening here is rather template-oriented, and this kind of cleaning should happen on the template layer, where the themer has control over it. So if we used Twig, which is the templating language that Drupal 8 uses by default, we would be able to do this kind of transformation right in the template without the additional PHP code. But this is still quite simplified, and if we look at our bye.php file, it's even simpler. Let's go to the resource pack directory and go to the 18th step, which is called bye.php, converting to a template. We'll open this up. We'll copy this code, which is really just a single word, and go ahead and open up bye if it's not already open. Again, this is going to be in your source pages folder, and we'll paste over the content. So this here looks more like what you would expect from a template. It's just text. Let's give this a run in the browser to make sure that it's working. So again, we're at hello. If we refresh, looks good. If we do bye, it looks good. Now, if there's any doubt in your mind that what we're doing isn't syncing up properly, you can go back to the templates and add a couple of characters. We just added a few Fs inside of our bye.php, and then go to the browser and refresh, and you should see those changes apply. That means the routing and everything is working properly. Okay, I'll remove those Fs from our goodbye template,